like, hold up, striptease, she don't want the pole up. Make a boy get purple nuts. Hanging out like both for the bros, huh? Without throwing jabs, do the beat it up dance, get the cold cuts, make you the sandwich, like so what? I can go another round and you might walk you downstairs when it's over. We both not looking at our phones while the Instagram alerts glow up. I told ya, there's no agent like Cobra. In the clutch, clutching your head to lay your neck compared to a coma. Dome, my bone, all my chicks with the cola areola. Can't forget those chicks with the peach nips. Can't wait to sip on your strawberry soda. Drink mad water, she don't have an odor. Got a camel toe, that can tow a tow truck when it's soaked up. That's so. Don't you like how the white wife beat a fish sheet? Like she like how the white crisp tea fit me. B-ball shorts flipped off her cheeks. Chick, let me see, toss off these sheets. Chick got me like, hold up, 1, 2, shotgun boo. I don't got corns when the toes touch, I'm scared.
1, 2, 1, 2, is this thing on? Yes, it is. All right, what's going on, everybody? First, I want to start this off by saying there is a new asset added onto the channel. If you've seen the poll, thank you for participating in the polls. Both of the polls that I just put up recently, I appreciate that very much because the statistics show and prove what the truth is on an objective level. So that is very helpful to the channel. So thanks again for everyone who participated in those polls. There will be an asset included onto the channel. This woman who has worked with me before has proven this to be successful as far as talking to someone goes when they're going through things. She is a very intuitive person. She is a great listener. She gives great feedback. And, I even say this from listening to me. You know what I'm saying? She listens to me sometimes. So definitely I already can vouch and will vouch for this asset that I'm adding onto the channel. And although it's not set up in a way that could be automated just as of yet, so it could be very convenient and simplified for everybody to where you like click and then the next thing you know, you're on. Before that even happens, just know that she's going to be available. All right. So all you got to do is just contact me. Let me know when you want a time, schedule it, or whatever the case may be. And I will get it done as best as I possibly can before the whole automated system goes up. I think it's that important. You know what I'm saying? I think it's it'll be beneficial to just get it started as fast as possible especially because of the discussions that we just came off of. They were powerful. They were deep. They were meaningful. Like I said, we get through this together. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about stuff like that, I don't think it's anything that we should be afraid of, especially in these times. You know what I mean? I don't think there's nothing that people really need to hide. I mean, we can actually grab a device and talk to each other all around the world. So this will be, and speaking about that, right? But that asset will be added. So just contact me. Don't forget that there's icons on my channel banner. So you can reach me through Instagram as well. Excuse me. You can reach me through Instagram as well. What else? You can't reach me through MySpace. I mean, you could, but who does that, right? But no, there's icons on the banner just in case you don't have my email address. I'm kind of like trying to tone down the email address posted on the comment section. But yeah. Speaking of speaking to people and it being successful and stuff like that, I wanted to talk about this Virgo season thing going on. And I'm pretty late because as I browse through my YouTube browser, my feed, all the astrologers are talking, not all of them, but a lot of astrologers are talking about Virgo season right now. And I even heard a few things that they had to say, and I can attest to it. You can't. It's very difficult to deny the universe and deny what's happening in the stars. I mean, we see it in front of our faces every day. So I was actually doing something for a reading for a client before Virgo season hit. So I already had like an idea of what was coming. However, for my client, it aligned with different houses, excuse me, right? So this is what I want to say about this. Since I've been on a roll, like doing my podcast, as far as content goes, right? The impact of the content that I've been producing lately is just superb. And I attribute that to trying to build, or not even trying, just building a healthier ego. You know what I'm saying? Building up, because I realize how much sun worship is applied to this earth. You know what I mean? Now, who's practicing it is in contrast to others, you don't know. You don't always know. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. But you can still look at things around you and say, okay, still predominantly sun worship going on around here. So I told myself, like, how can I get better aligned with that? You know what I'm saying? Make a better impact with that. So me, for one, I want to have a healthy ego. I don't want to ever let my ego get in the way to the point where I get in my own way. So, and I think I've been doing pretty well throughout my whole life when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? However, there are times where I do things especially as far as the business world goes, to where sometimes I just can't curb it. You know what I'm saying? And I've known those types of instances where that has happened. So I always want to constantly work on how to build a healthier ego. So when I started producing this content during 2019, it just came over me. It started with me doing my solar return. I got a great solar return, and I realized that I got Aquarius in my ascendant during this solar return, and this has done a lot for me as far as objectivity goes. I'm not so subjective and influenced by the things that are around me, and ideas, my own ideas included. I'm not just so quick to jump on my own ideas and just tackle it full steam ahead. And that Aquarius ascendant has enabled me to be able to see things objectively, to say, okay, well, just see how popular opinion might go. So it's just like doing those polls that I just did, and I'm great at research anyway. I've always been part of research some type of way, but this year especially, it's been stronger. And what it's done with my ego is it's like it's just like the Aquarius opposes Leo opposition, right? Inside of the natural scheme of things in the astrological wheel, it's like, okay, you want to be bright, you want to express yourself, you want to take your creations and put them out there, right? However, what is the best way to do it? You know what I'm saying? And can you do it in a way that you can actually still detach yourself from it, to where you're not so involved that you get in your own way, or that you get too boastful or too haughty maybe, or too proud, or too, you know what I mean? Like those types of things. So being able to see it that way, I'm able to contract with the Leo within, right? Having an Aquarius ascendant this year, I'm able to contract better with the Leo within. 7 houses over from Leo would be Aquarius, so 7th house is contracting with business relationships, right? So I'm basically having a relationship with myself. Aquarius having a relationship with Leo. All right, so what's this done as far as the sun goes? It's like as the sun moves around each sign in the dial, I've been narrowing my focus on where the sun goes. So just like it was Leo season last season, I was narrowing down on Leo season. You know what I'm saying? Getting back to my writings, preparing my creativity, and just doing it at a level, and even treating myself a little better. You know what I'm saying? Going to do little things for myself and stuff like that. And I'm applied it to where Leo is in my house, in my natal chart. Well, not my natal chart, in the solar chart, right? So what I'm realizing as this goes on is that we all have a common thread wherever the sun is according to the sign. And I think that's where we should reach out to each other in that sign, in the aspects of that sign. And I think we do it unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? Like my most recent conversations is just like I'm building relationships again because of where, Virgo is my 7th house in my solar chart, Pisces, Aries, you get the gist, right? So although it's 7th house for me, it's going to be a different house possibly for you, a different house possibly for you, all the different signs, right? So despite we know that we're going to have some type of differences there. However, when it comes to the characteristics that are associated with Virgo, which is organization, which is, even manufacturing, like hand manufacturing, earthy stuff, being careful, being cautious, even being critical. I had a conversation a couple of days ago. Someone, a close friend of mine was just like, look, I just want to make sure, that you don't get too involved with this side of the game. So I just want to show you some more of this side of the game as well. I'll give you just pull you up and show you a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? I took no offense to that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I hope you're not offended. Nah, I'm not offended at all. I'd rather you do that. You know what I'm saying? If you observe something, that's another thing that's with Virgo season, right? Analysis. You know what I'm saying? So if you see something, say something, this is the season to do so. So what if it's your friend? You know what I'm saying? Tell your friend. Just weigh it out with them, just let them deal with it the way that they have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But, you see something, say something. Be critical. You know what I mean? Because what you'll see is, and don't get me wrong, that's probably the most challenging thing to do during this season, is to be critical and still be able to move around things, right? Because despite how critical and perfect the whole Virgo archetype wants things to be, it's still a mutable sign. So if you got to go around here and go around there and actually get a flaw, obtain a flaw, see the flaw, still let it go, then you should do so. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. However, you should do so if you ask me. So these are all things that efficiency, you know what I'm saying? How do we minimize or mitigate risks? How do we, lower or decrease volatility? Volatility, you know what I'm saying? How do we decrease that? So these are the things that we're looking at this season. And one thing that I must stress, and I hope you guys pay attention to this, is that the intensity that is happening in Virgo season is real. So I don't know about you, but me, I was just like, I've done so much in like maybe a 3-day span that I step back and I look, I'm like, this is great energy. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's just like everything that's associated with the sign, I'm just ready to tackle. I'm ready to pounce on it and do it all at one time. And like today, I want to share this with y'all. Today, like, I wanted to get some major things done, right? So I'm chipping away at it. Progress, made a few errors on the way, still going, right? So I'm this close to pretty much solidifying what I need done for the day. But mind you, this could take someone else days, maybe even weeks to do, right? And I'm this close to finishing this part in one day. But don't get me wrong, I've researched this stuff before, so now this is just all work that I'm applying. And I'm this close, and then the internet is going RE, and then this is messing up, but this is on pause, and I'm getting this types of errors, and I'm just like, I had to do some research to find out, like, what is this specific error that I'm getting in the coding? Like, what is this about? And it says you gotta slow down. You know what I'm saying? You got to slow down. So I was like, at first I was like, I didn't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, I got to slow down. And I'm like, yeah, I forgot about that. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about the reading that I did for my client, and I'm like, I should have known better. Like, I seen this coming because of all of the intensity that's going on right now. There are so many conjunctions in the sign of Virgo right now. It is like through the roof. Do you feel the intensity? I don't know. I feel the intensity. I'm a Virgo ascendant, Virgo moon as well. I feel the intensity to the point. I feel like a little kid again. You know how you was little and you started breaking day outside and all that. You know what I'm saying? Staying outside till the sun come up. Like, you don't want to miss a beat that happened outside. Like, that's how I'm feeling all over again. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, calm down, chill out. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? But the intensity, you might possibly bulldoze over something. You know what I'm saying? You might miss something. You might move so fast that you don't allow the other people that need to be involved to catch up or to chime in the correct way. Or like, I might have just not did this video, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm so focused that I forget to be like, yo, shout out to the people real quick. You know what I'm saying? Share some of this information with them because you can, you know what I'm saying? So what? You just did back to back videos. Do another one. You know what I'm saying? And, stay out there with this information so that everyone can understand what's going on, because this intensity it has the potential to exhaust you. Anyone who knows Virgos personally, they're like workaholics next to Capricorn, but they do it to an extent to where they'll exhaust themselves like every time. You know what I'm saying? They do more than what's needed, and people rely on them for that. And it's like, whoa, like, really chill out. You know what I'm saying? So there can potentially be a lot of that this season, but at the same time, Virgo represents health. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back to the sun and a healthy ego, the practice of healthy ego, it is very essential to not exhaust oneself. When you feel the exhaust coming over yourself, you should stop. You should stop. You should take a breather. You should just chill. Because Virgo is like, and I'm a capitalize. I'm a kill at this podcast. Watch. But Virgo is representative of the server. The server. So of course we already know Virgo is a sign of service in astrology, right? But not only that, if you think about, I like making analogies to computers, to tech and stuff like that, because I think it's real interesting how, like, the inside, mainframes and hardware, software. I like how all of that, like, you can make an analogy out of that with the human body a lot of the times if you're paying attention. Binary codes, ones and zeros and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm serious though. So a server, right? You got to think about it. A server on a computer, when you put too much on a server, what happens? Your computer start moving slow. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, what's the matter? It's just like, you got to start deleting files and stuff now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you got your device and then you'll be like, oh, you can't take another picture unless you delete a file. Tell me I don't get you tight. You be tight, right? But do you think about, like, I know this chick, she got like 4,000 photos on her phone. Yo, I kid you not. She might watch this too. I kid you not, though. I'm serious. And it gets me totally pissed off because I be laughing too, because I'm like, yo, I know you're not using all of those photos. Like, what are you doing with all of these pictures, yo? What are you doing with these pictures? You know what I'm saying? And, but it's true. You understand what I'm saying? Virgo is like the server of the computer. And you take on too much, you start moving slow. You're not efficient, right? And then you end up doing something excessive that someone else could have done. And this is how you know that Virgo is the benefit of Leo season, because Virgo is the archetype that comes in and says, look, you're doing too much, buddy. All of that Leo stuff, like, tone it down. You're doing too much, because look at this stuff we got to clean up. Look how not efficient it is. It's not even sufficient. Look at what y'all doing. Like, just chill out. The party is over right now. All right. So take care of yourselves, yo. Go get some herbs. I just bought some watercresses and stuff. I just juiced like mad grapes and resveratrol and all of that. Like, we good over here. You know what I'm saying? We good. I'm communicating with my relationships and stuff like that, building good rapport and all of that great stuff. And again, all of the things that I mentioned that is associated with Virgo and the things that you already know: health, service, giving service to others, being sufficient, efficient, organizing is the most important. Let me not leave this out and put emphasis on this before I go. Organization is very important. It's actually what I began to do and put down, because the intensity, all of the conjunctions between all of the planets inside of Virgo right now, it's just like, oh, I can do fashion too. Excuse me, because manufacturing fashion is part of Virgo. You know what I'm saying? That's a Virgo merchandising or manufacturing period is a Virgo thing. It's an earthy thing, right? So I see my tools laying around and I'm like, yo, this is just sitting here. Let me get busy. You know what I'm saying? So I'll grab that. Everything that got to do with Virgo, I'm going in my spreadsheet to look at my health chart that I've designed. Maybe last year I finished designing the chart. I'm going in there. Okay, let me go to the store. Let me get this. Let me get that. Let me get that. I got the juicing now. I'm juicing. So this is no coincidence that all of these things are aligned. It's just the intensity is pulling me away from the organization. And let me tell you, the importance of the organization is when you got it organized, like top down, you got it organized. Everything, the files are deleted that you no longer need. Everything's running faster. Everything's running more efficient. Everything else comes into play much more smoother. You know, you don't get all of those interruptions and those interferences that throw you off or seem to be distractions or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Organization is very important. So if you can, you might have to fight the energy, because I'm telling you, the conjunctions are in the air. But fight it if you must and get organized. Like you might be organized already. You know, who know? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just know for myself, I can still organize a few things better before I get all the way into it. There's a lot of Virgo season left. And I think the sooner I prepare pretty much the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? The documentations and stuff like that. It's tedious and it's not the fun part. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's sometimes why I put stuff like that off to the side. And I'm pretty sure that's a lot of other reasons why other people do it too. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fun part. But once it's out of the way, just think about all of the fun and how this transition is going to go smoothly. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be in that state of flow so that you'll know that it's worth it. So that's what I got for y'all right now. Again, thanks for taking the polls. And this asset will be afforded to anyone who needs it, anyone who wants it. There's no rules and regulations and terms and conditions on it just as of yet. Just know that you got somebody that you can reach out to and talk to when you need it. Contact me and I'll be working on, again, organizing so that, this thing can be automated eventually. And, sort of like how I got the whole dating on the companionship site and stuff like that. Something along those lines. You know what I mean? But you will definitely know when that occurs. I'll announce it. I'll post it on a channel or whatever I got to do to make sure that happens. All right, y'all, I'm out.